What time? I can't.
Let's get some Levy up here. Steve Levy?
Okay.
Come join us, Levy.
But I'm warning you now.
Yeah. Haircut, Levy. He's got a haircut, Levy. What's up, Steve?
Oh,
Were you in Miami?
No, I don't know. I went to school there.
Oh.
Yeah.
How was your holidays? Did you travel? I think you did, right?
Yeah, I went home. It was not good.
You almost died, you said, outside.
I did, yeah. It was hard. It was a hard week for me.
Just weather-wise or emotionally?
It was freezing. I mean, I got sick, so I was bedridden for like 3 or 4 days. And the first morning I was sick, I woke up and I couldn't move my arm. I couldn't move it more than this, and it was really painful.
For $5 a month, you can subscribe to Harmontown and see how much his arm could move.
And I couldn't sleep because every little movement hurt my arm. It was just so painful.
What happened to your arm?
Well, I thought like, oh, this will get better, and I was just in bed for a couple of days. I was getting over this cold, whatever it was.
So you thought maybe you slept on it wrong.
Yeah. I thought like lost circulation or something. And then my mom was like, you have to go to the doctor. And we go to this old Jewish doctor, and he's cracking all these jokes, and I was just in a lot of pain. He's like, we got to x-ray this thing.
Well, that's not a joke. That's the thing doctors say.
No, yeah. Well,
did he say we have bad news and we have worse news?
He took the x-ray chart, put it on the light thing, and circled this thing in my shoulder. And he was just like, sorry, you're way too young to be getting this. It's ultra rare for anyone your age to really get this. I don't know what to tell you, but you have a calcium deposit in your rotator cuff.
Oh, no.
For real?
Yeah. And it's...
Is this part of the joke?
No.
Okay.
And he was like...
calcium's good for you.
Well, but I don't
Not
think
when
it's,
it deposits.
I don't think it's I don't think it's related. But he was just like, essentially, the tissue cells and the calcium cells are very, very close. So your body, like when it was making tissue cell, it ended up being calcium cell, which is essentially like bone. It's like it's like a physical. It's a thing that grew in my shoulder.
I mean, all cells are tissue cells. There's no actual thing called tissue in your body. I mean, everything's tissue.
He was trying to simplify it.
Okay,
for me, I guess. But so like when I was moving, there's like just like this like.
So now there's bone there interfering with the
like
rotation of your shoulder.
Bones and my
how are you
and stuff.
moving your arm now?
Well, so what he did was he was like, okay, this is gonna really suck for you. I'm
no.
so sorry about this.
Oh my God!
Let's pinpoint where your pain is.
Oh no!
And he was like pushing on certain areas. He's like, okay, here's the area, and he takes out this giant needle, and he goes, okay. I like on the count of 3, I guess it's gonna be terrible.
On the count of 3,
So you
I guess.
smash it?
And what he did was he went like this.
What? What is he doing? Is it an ice pick? What is he doing?
It's a needle, and he finds
the
calcium deposit, and he just keeps
Breaks
pushing
it
in
apart.
and out like this to break it apart.
Like he's
Wow.
mashing potatoes?
And then he's moving it around like this.
He's scraping it out of your rotator cuff.
This happened for like a minute and 30 seconds, and I was like,
He didn't give you anything before he fucking did
It was
that?
the weirdest sensation.
Did he give you a belt to bite or something, like a stick?
I was biting my
Stick,
lip.
yeah,
It actually it really hurt, and you could feel it like hitting stuff in there.
No.
And he's like, and then he
Are you sure he was a doctor?
yeah. And he injected cortisone, which is what they give like the athletes when they get injured. And he was like, "All right, man."
But
I know that really.
When did he give you the cortisone?
It like intermittently while
through the stabbing.
It was a needle full of cortisone that he squirted out while
yeah.
Oh my
chiseling
God.
and
But he used it as an ice pick.
Yeah, to break apart a
This sounds like, did he say, hold on, I got an idea before he started doing
No,
this?
he's like, this is what.
doesn't sound like a procedure
He was like,
that's
this is what we do.
legitimate.
I'd like to see his diploma.
Yeah. So anyway, he was like,
Jeff, he was Jewish.
he was like, you would think the worst part is over, and I think it is, but it's only going to get worse before it gets better.
Oh, no.
What?
So he's like, the next 2 days are really going to suck for you.
What? Fuck.
And he's like, you probably won't be able to move it as much, and you'll experience a lot more pain. And then hopefully over the next couple of days, you'll get some movement back, and it'll be less tight. And it's still tight, but and it doesn't
Christ.
hurt,
And not
but I
in a
can,
millennial
slightly
way.
feel.
It's not tight like it's
Yeah,
like
not
lit.
Not like
Not like
cool. Yeah.
You're
So-
not sick. You're
No, so
dope.
then I was bedridden all that day, and then the next day, my mom was like, "Will you come out to dinner with us? It's my boyfriend's 60th birthday."
And it's the doctor.
No. and his daughter's gonna come, and I was like, "It'll be a nice thing." I was like, "Okay, fine." So we go to dinner, and like halfway through the meal, we're eating. I took a bite of this piece of steak, and it's Saturday night. We're at this like popular restaurant, and it's like it's not going down right, you know. And I was like, this is not feeling good. It starts to burn a little bit. So I drank a bunch of water,
Right.
and then I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe at all. Like it was really bad. And I was like, in my head, everyone's looking at me like, "Are you okay?" As I'm like struggling and
But
making faces.
when you're really choking, you can't even make a sound.
No, yeah,
so
you-
people are
you
just
can't make a
like
sound.
looking at you like,
You're-
what?
you're- they're looking, and I was just like, in my head, I was like, okay, there's a 50% chance I could clear this on my own, and I kind of wanted to, but it was like, why are you doing this? Just take the easy way out. They're saying, "Are you okay?"
you're supposed to do the this.
And I was like, I have to give the universal symbol for choking.
I'm choking.
Did you do it?
Yeah. So I
What
went like-
happened
I went
when you
like
did
this, and then my mom was like, "Oh my god!" And then
Everyone just
her
starts hitting
boyfriend-
you on the back.
Her boyfriend was just like, "Do you need the Heimlich maneuver?" And I was like, "Yes." And so I had to stand up in the middle of this restaurant. All of the air just got sucked out of the restaurant. Everyone stopped what they were doing. All the tables were looking at me. I was so fucking embarrassed. All the waiters were like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And then my mom's boyfriend gave me the Heimlich maneuver, which wasn't painful at all. I thought it would be. Maybe it was the adrenaline, but like for 15 seconds. And then I just started like regurgitating all this water onto my plate on the table into the middle of the restaurant. Everyone's looking at me, and I'm just so fucking embarrassed.
Please tell me it was like an Olive Garden or something.
No, it was like a really
What
nice...
was it?
Why
was a
did we
really
spend
nice
this
restaurant.
podcast talking about the harassment of employees? This is the
I had it was a
This should have
really
been the lead
bad-
story.
It was a really bad
Jesus.
vacation.
You know, is that why it took so long for you to get on fixing my garage? I'm kidding. God damn it. The joke is I'm a bad boss.
So then that happens, and it
So
takes
you were
me.
choking on the steak or no?
Yeah, it was a piece of steak. It wasn't going down right. I was like having a hard time breathing. So
This is
I thought
unrelated to the cortisone and the shoulder stabbing.
no, this is a separate thing.
You're just choking for real.
I got sick for 4 days. My arm broke down, and then I almost died.
well,
Could-
I guess a
It's so-
cortisone could like maybe constrict your throat or something. Or
It was so weird to not be able to breathe. Like it was
it's
it was
the
like
wor- I mean,
simulated
it's-
drowning. Like
it's
kinda-
happened. It's happened
there
to
was, like,
probably a lot of
burning-
people in this
There's
room.
like a burning here, and then it was like a cool sensation because there was water on top, and just like no.
that
like,
moment where you realize
it was
you
panic.
can't do anything about it, that it's like
Yeah.
actually happening. And then the weirdest thing, we've talked about it on this podcast, is like the strangest thing happens that you get ashamed of it. You don't want it to be happening, so you
Yeah.
want it. You kind of have an instinct to like get out of there
Yeah,
and go die in an alley.
Most choking victims die in the bathroom alone. They
Actually-
get up and go to the ladies' room or the men's room and die.
That actually almost had the perils of like living alone. I woke up. I was telling Levy outside because he was telling me that he almost died by choking. A few years ago, I went to a Chinese restaurant that I always go to in Chinatown and ordered the same thing I always do, the duck, and it was bad duck, evidently, because I woke up at like 4 a.m. with food poisoning and couldn't stop vomiting, like projectile vomiting, to the point where it blocked my nasal cavities. So the nasal cavities get blocked with vomit, and then I'm continuing to vomit without being
Right.
able to stop,
Right.
and I couldn't take a breath.
Right.
And I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, isn't this what they tell you about how you can choke on your own vomit?
Right.
And isn't this this must be what it's like when people die? And how many days is it going to be before someone finds me? And I'm like thinking all of this before finally like something happens and like one nostril gets just the tiniest
Oh, man.
bit of air that I'm able to then go like and like and I'm still vomiting, but now I've just got that little bit of life-saving air, and I'm like looking at my cat like, how many days would it have been before you started eating my face? Like I just don't
3.
like it was like wow, like this close. Like who would have found me? How long before someone would have like suspected something? Like
Do cats eat your face when they get hungry?
The cats start almost immediately. You stop moving, and they're like, "So
yeah,
you're never
food
going to
runs
feed
out,
me?"
and then they're like, well.
Yeah, you look like
You're
a
right
big,
there.
You look like a big bowl of...
Dogs take a couple days because they're like, I feel like this is a test. This is like him. He fucks with me.
This is
But
like
cats
peekaboo.
are like, I've been waiting for this.
The weird thing, though, is in public, not that they can do anything, but as soon as it's over with, everyone goes right back to their conversations and eating like nothing ever happened.
But
Do they
you
all
know
clap,
they're not.
though, when
They
you-
can't
when
be
you were
talking
okay?
about Game of Thrones. They must all be going like, "What's up with that dude? He choked." Yeah, I know. I saw him.
It took me like 10 minutes to recover. I didn't eat the rest of the night because I was like, I can't do it. And then the next morning I woke up to texts from you going, a guy drunk drove through my garage.
I'm like, "Hello."
Wow, Levy.
That was
Jesus.
my break.
And I mean, you didn't text back. I almost died, and a guy stabbed me with an ice pick covered in cortisone.
Can't you deal with it yourself?
Right.
Yeah.
Because you know I would
You're
have
just
fired
like
you.
on it.
And then I was stood up on New Year's. That was fun. And then
What?
yeah.
Stood up
Yeah, like I was supposed to hang out with somebody and then
like they flaked, or they. I mean, like were you
like
standing?
like a hot
we-
date? Like a New Year's kiss you at midnight kind of
Yeah,
thing?
maybe, yeah. Maybe.
And she fucking boned out on you? She didn't come.
There was I don't know.
She didn't show.
Nothing happened. Yeah.
Nothing happened, meaning she didn't show up, or nothing
Yeah,
happened?
no,
meaning-
no,
That's what
no
stood up
plans
means.
happened.
You said stood up.
Yeah, I mean, like we were like, yeah, let's hang out on New Year's, and then we were like, this time, and then nope.
They just didn't show up.
Yeah.
Oh, Levy.
You're breaking my heart over here, Steve.
Levy.
It was
Well,
it was a hard
it's
hard week.
Only up from there.
Yeah, I hope so.
That was on New Year's.
It was a tough first day back at work too. Lots of stuff going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, there's been a lot of upheaval.
Well, what are we
Yeah.
supposed to do to make this right?
There's no
Play a little.
play a
little
D&D.
D&D, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think we
Oh.
Oh,
we
yeah.
forget our workaday cares and get into a realm of fantasy and adventure.
Just one shout out about the set design and the ongoing technical efforts of our crew. I don't know. It's beautiful.
It looks great.
We had a great Christmas. I mean, our Christmas episode was like whatever in terms of content, but the fucking set was like
That was amazing.
it was great.
I was really envious to not be there for that one because it looked so like resplendent. I loved it. Is this all Chris and Sarah? Like, who made all this? Awesome. Oh, thank you. I'm loaded with water. Thank you. You want a water, Church?
Levy. We got to get you
sure.
retired. I mean, you got bone
Yeah,
things.
I kept saying to my mom, "I'm dying," and she's like, "You're not dying. Stop it." But like, I feel like I'm falling apart a little
Well,
bit.
I mean, I want you. Yeah, we got to get you. We got to get you.
between the
You
psoriasis,
can't- I
and
don't want
the
you to die my
arms and the-
assistant. I mean, I want
I went and got my annual physical, and my doctor told me that I had to stop masturbating.
What?
And I said, "Why?" And he goes, "Because I'm trying to give you a physical."
Oh. Thanks, Jeff. You know what? There was one thing. I think Chris may have said that these lights are programmed to the way the show, like our voices, like as we talk.
They
it,
light
like,
up when
moves.
the show's going well.
Yeah.
They twinkle. Each one of those lights is someone on Reddit making a comment. It's either positive or negative.
It's based on equalizer, I think. Like as the levels, it like flickers. I don't know. I might have made that up.
Yeah.
Is this like bone growth in your shoulder going to keep growing?
He said it could come back. It may not. Who knows? And then I found out this week, my mom was going. My mom was complaining about my dad's side, like the genetics are so bad. You're going to end up with all these terrible diseases. Your grandmother's telling me you need to get a colonoscopy. And I was like, all right.
Wait, your mom said that?
Yeah.
I thought you said, this is a roller coaster. You said, Mom, I'm dying. She said, you'll be fine. And then she walked out the door, and then she came back in, and she's like, well, okay, a few things.
Yeah, exactly. She blames all the bad genetics on my dad's side. Like, I have the psoriasis and whatever. My dad died early.
But she was in the throes of being hot for this dude that saved your life. Her boyfriend, her date saved her son from dying.
Yeah.
And that's when she was like driving home and going like, plus your dad's full of diseases and his whole side of the family's awful. Because she was like pumped about this guy.
These are different times. They're having it at different times.
But what about
this week? She calls me and she goes, "Yeah, my brother gets those all the time. It might be genetic. You may get more of them in different places in your body."
Yeah, because now you know that you're prone to this, right? So is there something that did you get any advice on how to prevent these?
No. He said it's impossible. It just happen.
This
you
is
should
just
stop
your
eating
life now.
calcium.
You just have a new thing to fear.
I don't know that it's related.
It's like, well, it's a calcium deposit, so it's kind of related. They're just growths, It's like some people grow skin tags and stuff.
Right,
it's just like a growth.
My Polish genes make it so I can't. Sometimes they fall off. I just have erasers that grow on my body.
Yeah, skin tags.
My 100-year-old grandma was covered in them. But I did. So this guy that's dating your mom, who saved your life, literally saved your life.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, on his birthday.
On his birthday. So let's say things don't work out between him and your mom.
Yeah.
And let's say you're at baseball practice.
Okay.
Or at astronomy club.
As I usually am.
And he pulls up in his car and he's like, toot, toot. And you're like, oh. And he's like, and you're like, you look around for your mom, and because they broke up. Then it cuts to you getting in the car, and then he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to hang out, and how's your mom doing?" And you're like, "Michael, I don't, well, I don't know if this is appropriate, or look, what do you?" And he's like, "Listen, will you just put in a good word for me? Be a good guy."
Right.
Tell her I made some mistakes, but she can record. TLC's Trading Spaces in a schedule that if there's too many Colberts, it'll balance out. Like, I'm sorry, that's the fight we got into when we broke up, and just tell her we can share the DVR space. And you're like, Michael, look, my mom's her own woman, and he's like,
you owe me.
Saved your life, dude.
Yeah.
Like you weren't talking about how it's her own life when you were choking on water and steak. And you're going to be like,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
No, I'll vouch for him.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I think he's a good dude.
But all you have to do is go to your mom and say, Michael showed up. It was kind of predatory, and like, he wants me to put in a good word for him. He did save my life, so I have to. I'm passing it along.
Yeah. He's not the kind of guy that would do that, but yeah.
What if you said no and he like stuffed a chunk of steak down your throat? It's like, I take this back.
Yeah.
He does the ninja thing with the string and the poison, except it's a chunk of steak.
Like a true
parent.
I brought you into this world and I can take you back out.
Right. I didn't bring
That's
you
when
into this
he earns
world,
being called
but
Dad.
I did keep you from leaving this world, and so I think I might be able to take you out if I can convince you to be vulnerable while you're eating.